there's nothing free in this league. So you got to earn everything, and he's going to get his chance to earn it, and he's same with every other player on this team. We have a routine every day. That's part of the development process, and it's important for all of our guys to not only seize the opportunity on game night, but to seize the opportunity every single day. And I think for young players, they learn that as they go, and they understand what that means, but it doesn't happen overnight.
All right, here is the official Warriors starting lineup. And Jordan Poole will get to start at the point guard for Stephen Curry. You see Loon Dog, 121st consecutive start. Loon is the Iron Man, of course, presented by Fit Aid. Anthony Lamb will get the start at the 4. Moses Moody at the 2-guard spot. And what do you know? Jonathan Kuminga will get to start tonight. The young man has been chomping at the bit here. Athletic, strong. I can't wait to see what J.K. does against this Pelicans front line. So, Mully, you're a big J.K. fan. We're all big Jonathan Kuminga fans. What do you expect from J.K. after all those DNPs this season?
I think it's going to be important for him to play with some poise and patience and confidence, which I know he has. But don't come out and try and get 20 points in the first quarter since you haven't played in a while. You play within yourself, play with your teammates, make the unselfish play offensively, and then defensively is going to be the key. He may be matched up with Zion. Don't foul. That's been a big topic of discussion. And to me, a player like Kuminga, the biggest thing he can do is grab rebounds, grab defensive rebounds. It's a good way to get yourself in the game. Offense will come, and just go out there. And I think with this group too, you want to see them win the 50-50 balls. You want to see them dominate the rebounds and insert themselves physically. With their athleticism, their quickness. So it should be an interesting night.
I think for the young guys, especially having been one myself and going through some of the same things he's going through, or you go through games, you don't know if you're going to play or not, but just staying ready. I have a couple of young guys come up to me during over the course of the season so far, ask me, what is it like to be patient? How do you stay patient and wait for your turn? I said, well, the first thing you have to understand is your turn is always going to come. During the course of an NBA season, things happen. They have guys rest just like this. You have injuries, knock on wood, which is not what we hope that we don't have, but that happens over the course of a season. And you also have guys get in foul trouble. At some point, your time will come. And so what happens meanwhile? What are you doing while you're waiting, while you're on the bench? And so guys like Jonathan Kuminga, I understand that he's been working. He's been working with the coaches, has guys like Andre Iguodala who are mentoring him along the way as well. So for him, tonight, like Mully said, the goal is don't come out there and try to knock it out in the first punch. I know you're anxious, you want to get out there. The job is, or your first instinct is to get in the game. Do something, make yourself feel good. Get an assist, make a play for somebody else. Get a rebound, get yourself in the game, and then you get going that way.
And you heard Steve Kerr talk about it. They don't just monitor game minutes. They have a championship culture and daily habits that all these young players have to abide by each and every day to stay prepared. That starts with getting a good night's sleep, waking up, having a good breakfast, doing your stretching, all the things that they have to do to prepare. So that's what you fall back. If you're not getting game minutes, you fall back on your daily habits that you are prepared for this moment.
All right, Jonathan Kuminga's first start of the season after having 3 DNPs so far to start. He hasn't played since the Detroit game this past Sunday where he played 19 minutes.
We're in a different kind of mode where we're obviously losing. It's, 4 in a row? Is that right? And we've been accustomed to learning while winning, and you find ways to dig it out even if you don't have it, or you're building chemistry or whatever it is. You haven't been in this position in a while where you understand you have to play better and you're losing, and it's just not a good feeling all the way around. So, yeah, we don't want to be insane and keep doing the same thing expecting different results, but we have to kind of pick each other up, understand, we have, everybody in that locker room has to figure it out. That's what the job requires. We understand that. And, it's just tough right now to go out and keep fighting hard. I understand our energy and effort was there, and you don't have any results to show for it.
All right, that's Stephen Curry after the loss last night in Orlando, where they lost to the Magic 130 to 129. Of course, they're 0-4 in this 5-game road trip. Make their 5th and final stop today in New Orleans, trying to avoid an 0-for road trip. They're 0-5 overall on the road this season. But hearing that from Stephen Curry there, what does that mean for a young guy, for a role player, to hear your leader, 2-time MVP, say things like that, saying, hey, we all got to pick it up here in the locker room?
Absolutely. That's what you talk about when you talk about accountability, right? And Steph is not saying, he's not blaming the young guys. Draymond's not blaming just the young guys. They're saying we all have to do this. And so that's what you have in a championship contending team. They all hold themselves accountable. I remember times in the locker room where we would have player-only meetings, and we sit there and say, hey, listen, we all got to pick our game up. And I think that they're at that point right now as a team.
Yeah, no finger pointing, calm, under pressure, through some adversity here, and just bringing people together, you know. And the other thing too, Bonte and Festus, this team has been through a lot of adversity together. Think of a team that lost 3-1 in the finals, right? And since that point came back and won 2 championships. Even last year, going into the playoffs, Steph was coming off the bench. Draymond's back was a big question. The defense was a question.
Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson. They had so much going on. They got it together. So they've got a lot of experience of dealing with adversity and understanding and to find the solutions and not focus on the problems.
This is a different journey, though, right? Because they don't have the veterans, per se, on the bench like they have in years past.
It is different, but to me, you know, they started off last year 18-2. I can definitely see this team when they get their roles together on the bench and everyone's feeling good about themselves. They can go on a 17-3 run mid-season, and you're right back where you were last year.
So moving forward here, you know, Steph Curry's not going to play tonight. The young guys getting this run, we just talked about them, but knowing that Curry, Klay, Wiggins, Dre's going to be on our bench, that leadership is still there for these youngsters, Festus. Absolutely.
For the game like this, I think these young guys are extremely motivated, and they're excited to get their opportunity tonight.
All right, time for a little crossover with Bob Fitzgerald.